He had a dream so big it made him feel all giddy. He loved UFC, the fights and the thrills, so he started a podcast to share all the chills. Oh, Dilly's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Break down the fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights would leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Break down the fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights will leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. NFTs and fighters, a digital blend. Diddley's got the scoop, he's always on trend. From rare collectibles to the latest bout, the Final Strike podcast, there's never a doubt. From afar they gather around for Diddley's insights, the best in town. With every episode his fame would grow. The Final Strike podcast, the ultimate show. Even when the market's tough and times are lean, Diddley's resilience shines, he's always keen. Through highs and lows he stands his ground. In the world of UFC he's renowned. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Podcast dream, bringing UFC and NFTs to the mainstream. With every word he lights up the night. The Final Strike podcast shining so bright.
What up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy fight day. Pretty, not too bad of a card. The main card's pretty solid. That's what we're going to talk about today for sure. Glad to see everybody hopping in today. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on the video for your boy. Thank you, thank you. What's up, Del Boy? Thank you, Richard Hart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Theme song's been out for a couple weeks now. A lot of people like it. Glad to see it. Glad to see it. Start off the day with the TFSPs in the chat. We're going to run 2 rares at the end of the show. So make sure you type TFSP in the chat. And we're going to get into Discord here right now. Let me pop my screen open. Here we go. When's Rob coming on? It's a great question, isn't it? That was supposed to be a couple weeks, wasn't it? So I don't know. I don't know. Thanks everybody for hopping in. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. But yeah, so at least we got some progress, a little bit of progress. I thought the burn tool was definitely going to be down a little bit longer. But looks like we do have some progress in that regard. So it's back up kind of, but people with more than 1,000 moments are having issues. So possibly next week, the burn tool will be back. So fingers crossed. And then challenges hopefully will resume once it comes back up and running. But in the meantime, We did get 5 different community challenges this week, all in this community challenge channel and Discord. 5 separate ones. There's a couple for the champs next week. You got the Holloway champ or the Whitaker champ. You could put your name in the hat for a pay-per-view code for next week's UFC 308, which is pretty nasty. And then a couple other challenges for different packs. So we'll take a quick peek at them. So we got a Vegas 99 and 100 community challenge. So own the moments, pretty much all commons, uncommons, a couple rares and fandoms in there. Those are for the tough base packs. 308 prelim community challenge. A lot of fighters that have moments are on 308. So we need a big challenge for 308, man. Big one for 308. And then the last one is the main card for UFC 308. A little bit more, but mainly commons and rares. Nothing too crazy in here. Chimmy's fandom is in there. I don't know if his rare is in there. Nope, is not. We'll see if they use Chimaev's rare, man. Be interesting to see if they use it in a challenge. Past 3 out of 5. Yeah, I did myself as well. But that's what's going on with Strike challenge wise. We did get some moments distributed finally. We finally did get that Drickish champ. Got distributed along with Ursag, but the Drickish champ is finally here. Minted to 81. So Strike is holding none of them. It'll be interesting. It's sitting at 400, no buys yet. Pretty much because everybody who wanted one completed one. Maybe there's a few people, trying to hit that serial lottery that are listing, but not too bad. I mean, him submitting Izzy's a pretty sick moment. Pretty sick moment. Let me see if I can find the Urseg, because unfortunately, when they release these new moments, if I'm trying to search Drickus as champ, it doesn't come up when I type his name. Let's see if Urseg is the same way. No, his rare comes up. So Urseg's rare. Hit it with a quick refresh because the site takes forever to load up. 269 owned. That means Strike has 231 of those. Probably gonna be some pack filler that we got coming here with the upcoming set rewards and champ rewards that are on the horizon that just finished up at the end of September. See what the chat's saying. 0 for 5 on challenges this week. Gonna need a little help. Yeah, man. We can help you out. Got that buy, sell, trade channel. A lot of people got dupes. Last time they did use Chimmy Rare, wasn't it for an uncommon reward? And it was used as an ore rather than a must-have. That is correct. What if they say burn that rare this time around? I mean, we're burning epics. Why not spice it up a little bit with that Chimmy Rare? But it'll be interesting to see what they do. So Ursag and DDP finally get delivered. Took a long time for those. We still have a few outstanding rewards on that front. Sean Brady, Alex did say probably going to come out next week. And then we also have the Roundtree that just finished up from UFC 307's challenge. So that's coming out. That's an epic. The Brady's a rare, and the Roundtree is an epic. I think it's like minted to 130 something, 135, 137, something like that. So real quick, I haven't taken a breakdown of the marketplace in a while, so I'm just going to break it down real quick. Just looking at some floors on the champs, epics, rares, just to see how we're looking these days. Lowest champs sitting at 230. So pretty much floors have been pretty solid on the champs, I would say. You'll have a few that are under that 300 mark, but for the most part, Most of them are 300 plus. Maybe somebody who lost recently. A couple people who lost recently. Charles is down there. He's fighting soon, so might be a good one to have in the arsenal. But not too bad. Let's just take a look at our Series 2 champs real quick. It's going to take forever to load here. So Jamal Hill, Grasso, Poatan's at 350. Some of the more expensive ones, Makachev, O'Malley, Holloway. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's take a quick peek at the epics. All right, so epics are pretty much sitting at $40 floor now. Usually stuff under that 40 buck range, if it's listed, it does get scooped up pretty quickly, and they're kind of creeping into the 45s. There's only a couple that are less than $44. So they're getting close to 50, on the floors. And if they get the challenges going again and these moments continue to have more play, then I mean, the epic moments are kind of what's really driving a lot of the market movement here as we're seeing challenges and stuff. So very interesting set, and more than likely we'll get a new epic released with this new set of champ club rewards that are coming out. So similar to the last two, or the last one that came out. I forgot who it was. I know Gaethje was one of them. Was Tatiana and I think Tatiana and Josh Emmett were also two that were minted as rewards from that last drop. So it'll be interesting to see how this set shapes up. And let's take a quick peek, because I know the rares are going up too. But some of those challenge rewards are interesting. So rares are pretty much at a $5 floor now, all across the board. Let's take a look at the higher price stuff. Some of the bottlenecks of the set. You got Morono. Is at 160. Got burned a few times. Chimmy. Obviously, that's an OG moment there that required significant amount of burned Chimaev contenders back in the day when Chimaev's contender was $30 a rip. Sitting at 135. And then Strickland, he's been burned a few times, sitting at $95. Those three are pretty up there. Allberg is at 28. That's another one I think Strike is holding on to 300 of them. So a lot of these S2 rares that are expensive, let's filter it down to that. S2 rares highest. So a lot of these that are, Diego, I think Strike is holding 130 of them. So some of those will probably start coming down in prices as these sets come out. Let's take a look at the uncommons real quick. $2 across the board for the floor. Yeah, it's about the same the last time we checked, maybe a month and a half ago. So you got a few rows of $2, and then they start moving into the threes. But say for the most part, $2 to $3 would be your floor here on the uncommons. And then our commons, I'm sure, are sitting at $1. I know S0s are at $2. S1s are at $1, and S2s are at $1. So that's your little marketplace recap, and that's what's going on in the MP. Not too much, though. Not too much. Definitely need some challenges to spice things up for sure. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, this burn tool comes back up and we get a nice, nasty challenge for that crazy card next week. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the strike side of things. You say challenge? Yeah, maybe if we get one next week, we'll see. We'll see if that burn tool comes back or not. But it's a pretty massive card with a lot of strike moments on it. So it'll be a shame if they don't get shit fixed for it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. On to the card. And we're going to make this a quick one today, guys, because the card does start in like 2.5 hours. And poker does start at the top of the hour right after the show. So it's kind of we're gonna blow by through this one real quick. And I'm only gonna go through the main card. Maybe there's a few fights, there's a few odds that I like. On a couple of the prelims that we'll touch, but definitely going to cover the main card specifically. Don't forget to get your TFSPs in the chat because I'm going to run those two rares at the end of the show back to back. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let's get into this fight card real quick. Starting at the main card at the first fight, we got a couple 40-year-olds fighting here. Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda. Pretty interesting fight, guys. Pretty interesting fight. They got Pineda as the underdog here, and I kind of like Pineda in this one a lot. I think he's definitely more powerful in the striking department. Both guys are pretty durable though, but I could see. I kind of like. I was looking at the odds, and Pineda by sub is pretty nice. Especially because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And it's not going to be too much. He usually has problems when he's got a lot of firepower coming back his way in the striking department. It's not going to be the case against somebody like Elkins. And I think he probably like maybe hits him, knocks him down, and like either jumps on his back, locks in a sub real quick. But I like Pineda. I like Pineda to get the job done to start us off as a dog winning this one. Next up, Hadley versus Cameron Smotherman, who took this fight on like a week's notice. I think he's coming out of the LFA, I believe, or Fury FC. He's a Fury FC champ. And he's been winning over there. He was on the Contender Series and lost. And then he went to Fury FC. He's been racking up some wins in Fury. Hadley, though, man, it's a tough matchup for Smotherman. Would be a nice story, coming off of the couch, 1 week's notice. If it was a strike, if he was facing a, I would say somebody that wasn't as durable as Hadley or as experienced as Hadley, because he's been in there with some of the best guys at that weight class that are on the up and up. It's a really tough matchup for Mr. Smotherman. And I think, Hadley's just too experienced, too well-rounded to get caught with anything. And he'll probably take this one probably by decision maybe. Or could be a finish based on how Smotherman's gas tank is, being off the couch on like a week's notice, taking this fight. Big props to him, but it's a tall task against Hadley. I think Hadley is going to get it done. Next up, we got the Skullet Gang, Energy, Charles Johnson versus Sumaderji. And there is a really, really nice odd here. Bang. I'm licking my chops at that plus 600 Energy KO. I mean, I don't know why they think that, it's not a possibility because everybody knows Energy's got one hell of a gas tank. Sumaderji does not have a good gas tank. And it could be similar to the Joshua Van fight where the guy's running out of gas and Energy starts just pouring it at him and ends up getting a KO, TKO type of situation. I like this fight a lot for Energy to keep his win streak going. Not too much of a threat anywhere that Sumaderji, I mean, he's got a little bit of a reach advantage. He's pretty good with some kicks, but I mean, I think Energy's faced probably better competition to it than him and has looked much better. And like I said, I definitely think he's going to win the fight, and I'm really liking that KO prop right there. For show. Next up, Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. Very, very interesting fight. The odds are pretty crazy. Pretty crazy if you ask me. And I think they're just kind of basing this off of how Rob Font has performed really against some grapplers in the past. Doesn't really know how to get back up to his feet. He is getting back up there in age. Was it 37? Yep, 37 years old now, Mr. Trey. He's getting up there, man. He's getting up there. And boxing is definitely crispy, but there's a lot of tape out on him. There's a lot of guys who have fought him and have neutralized them by either, staying at range and kicking him and or, implementing the grappling, wearing his ass down. It's tough. It's a tough one. It'd be interesting to see, at 37 years old, how much changes to your game you can make. But in a lot of the fights that I've seen him and seen him live in too, the Sandhagen fight was another one. Like, I was there live, and after the fight, Sandhagen says he was fighting with one arm. So you're telling me he held Rob Font down with one arm for 3 rounds after he broke he tore his elbow completely? So, like, did Rob start working on getting back up? Did I don't know. I don't know. And at 37 years of age, it's tough. He lost 2 decisions back to back to some good grapplers. And I don't know, man. He might have the same fate tonight, I'm thinking. Let's take a look at some of these props here. 375, 400. They are both pretty durable guys, though. I'll give them that. It's going to be tough maybe for somebody to get finished in this fight. I'm liking maybe this is probably your best chance of getting a good maybe return by points because Font is pretty durable. And he's pretty good defending against submissions, but he'll stay on his back defending or stay on the, he'll stay on the floor defending submissions. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But Father Time, Father Time always catches everybody. And we'll see how Mr. Font looks tonight. Let's see a step faster, step slower. Does he look the same? How's that first grappling exchange going to look? Is he going to settle for the bottom position or settle with the guy on top of him and just give up rounds like usually? But we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully makes it an interesting fight. But Phillips, man, he's pretty dynamic. I'll say that. He's a pretty dynamic guy. Mixes everything up really well. Great. I mean, he's up and coming, dude. He's been looking good. Fighting some decent competition. Pedro, not too bad at 299. But he looks good. He looks good. He's got some solid wins. He's got some solid wins on his resume. And I think, unless Rob Font did some drastic work, man, I'm liking Phillips to get it done. And I'm thinking the decision more than likely just because Font is pretty durable. But, this could be the fight where his durability starts withering with that age. But we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Chef? My man, Chef. Yeah, it should be a fun card, man. It should be a fun card. I'm looking forward to it. All right, that was the co-main, and now the main event of the evening. Fluffy Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. Pretty interesting fight here, guys. Pretty interesting fight. You got your traditional striker versus grappler for the most part, as you can see. Um, with the takedowns here, Fluffy does definitely. He's a top-notch grappler. So it'll be interesting to see how this fight plays out. It could play out one of two ways. I'm thinking one of two ways. I definitely don't think this fight is going to go the decision, um, because this guy Pereira definitely, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have a gas tank past like 2-3 rounds. So if that's the case, and Fluffy ends up getting him to the ground in late round 3, round 4, round 5, he'll find that subby and call it a day. But I'm really liking the late sub. So we don't have over 2.5 rounds is plus 135. Fight goes the distance is no, minus 700. But yeah, for Pereira, I would look at like round 1, round 2 KO props for that one, because that's his only way he's winning this fight. He's got to knock out Fluffy early. If he doesn't knock out Fluffy early, he's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. And for the other side of the ball, I would take Fluffy, the later round subs. See what those props are for like 3rd, 4th, 5th round subs. Because I mean, granted, he could do it in the first couple rounds for sure, but that's when Pereira is going to be most explosive, most dangerous, and the guy's an athletic freak. So with all that said, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because obviously you want the explosive knockout, but I think Fluffy's, man, he's been on a really good run against some top level strikers, some good competition. His striking looked pretty good. He mixed it up really well. Um, Striking's pretty good, especially against Kopylov, who's a really good kickboxer. How's Michel's takedown defense? Let's go to UFC.com for that. Take a quick peek. No, I don't want that. ESPN doesn't give you everything you need here. Get a little bit more stats. Grappling, takedown defense, 94%. Pretty solid, pretty solid. But has he fought a lot of grapplers? That's another thing. How many grapplers have they thrown his way? But he has some solid takedown defense. We'll look at his strength of schedule right here real quick. Let's take a look. Putiera, striker. Olashashek, striker. Petrosky's a good grappler, but he starched him. Starched him. But would you say Petrosky's a better grappler than Fluffy? I'm not too sure. You got Ponzi's a striker. Fialo's, Nico, Chaos. A lot of strikers. A lot of strikers. Yeah, so I don't know. I would think he hasn't fought anybody up to the par of Fluffy in the grappling sense. So it's going to be a big test for both guys. Big test for both guys. I think it's a good matchup for the division. Both these guys, winner of this is probably, right in there for 1 or 2 more fights to get a crack at the belt. So I'm kind of leaning on, especially after his fight with Roman and how he dealt with, kickboxer type of guy like Kopylov. Wasn't as explosive as Pereira, but I think I think Fluffy can catch Pereira, overextending and make him pay for it by dragging him to the mat and, maybe getting a sub, ground and pound, something. But when Fluffy gets you down, it's hard to get up. So it'll be interesting to see how those first few grappling exchanges go. So, but I'm leaning on Fluffy to get the job done, probably by subby. I'm thinking late, maybe third, fourth round sub. That's what I got for the main card. And let's talk about some interesting lines that I saw here. Based on his last fight, guys, his last fight was pretty bad, and it went the distance. I know Austin Lane is not somebody who's the best in heavyweight, but you might want to sprinkle a little bit on fight goes the distance for these two guys to have one of those sloppy heavyweight 3-rounders that they gas out after like the first minute. Might happen, maybe. That was one that I was interested in earlier. Nah, women's MMA, I'm staying far away from today. Jocelyn Edwards missed weight big time. Don't know how that's going to play a factor in her fight. But the girl she's fighting is a huge dog. She was a bigger dog before the weight miss. So I don't know if you want to sprinkle anything there. But here's another interesting one. Even though we don't really like him too much, Katona tends to win his fights. And it'll be interesting to see how Mr. Matsumoto does against them. Obviously, 25 years old, 15-0 prospect, but this could be primed for a big disappointment here. And Katona by sub at plus 1,200 is pretty wild. If you want to sprinkle a little bit of money on this fight, maybe not the money line, but if you want to maybe take a shot at a home run, very possible. Very possible. Katona by sub. But yeah, should be a fun card. Especially, we got Nicolau versus Asu. Big test for Asu in the main prelim spot. Pretty big step up in competition. I know Nicolau was hanging around top 5 for a while, then he lost to a couple guys. He got KO'd by Perez and Roy Val. So I don't know, man. Asu probably gonna win that. I'm thinking, because Nicolau's been getting knocked out left and right. But we'll see. We'll see. Should be a good card, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a great card. And with that said, we got to run a couple rares. So don't forget to get your TFSPs in the chat. Last call to get those TFSPs in the chat. Don't forget to get your pick'ems in. The card starts in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So get your strike pick'ems in. Get your pick'ems in my Discord in. And pro pick'em people, make sure you get your rares sent to me for the pot. And poker does start at the top of the hour. So about 30 minutes, poker will begin. So good luck, everybody. We're going to go ahead and run this first one. Here we go. First one coming in hot. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for your boy, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out today. Like I said, it was going to be a quick one. Rios, my man. Cashed in that rare. Nice. Congratulations, buddy. We're going to run it one more time. Here we go. No bot boy today. No. Too much. Couldn't handle it. Can't take the heat. They get out the kitchen, baby. That's what happens, bro. That's what happens. There's the rigs. Last call to get your TFSPs in the chat. Last call to get your TFSPs in the chat. 3, 2, and 1. Good luck, everybody. Last call. Here we go. Winner is bada bing, bada boom. Denny JP, my guy. Congrats, bro. Congratulations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all we have for the day. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to get your pick'ems in, poker. That's pretty much it. And enjoy those fights tonight. I am out. Peace, y'all.
The guy named Diddley had a dream so big it made him feel all giddy. He loved UFC, the fights and the thrills, so he started a podcast to share all the chills. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Break down the fights, every punch and kick. Analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights will leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. Down the fights, every punch and kick, analyze the moves, every trick and flick, comparing each fighter, their strengths and flaws. Diddley's insights will leave you in awe. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the final strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the final strike. NFTs and fighters, a digital blend. Diddley's got the scoop, he's always on trend. From rare collectibles to the latest bout, the Final Strike podcast, there's never a doubt. From afar they gather around for Diddley's insights, the best in town. With every episode his fame would grow. The Final Strike podcast, the ultimate show. Even when the market's tough and times are lean, Diddley's resilience shines, he's always keen. Through highs and lows he stands his ground. In the world of UFC he's renowned. Oh, Diddley's on the mic with the Final Strike, talking UFC, NFTs all night. From the octagon to the blockchain, he's got the hype. Tune in, listen up, it's the Final Strike. Stream, bringing UFC and NFTs to the mainstream. With every word he lights up the night. The Final Strike podcast shining so bright.